Okay, hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. Happy Friday, happy summer. The greatest thing about summer is vacations, heat waves, and hurricanes, right? So I want to try to get through the local service ads portion of this and hopefully add some value to you guys that have not yet dialed in the local service ads, or maybe you have, maybe help you get that extra boost and really be able to optimize those local service ads. So I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to share my screen back to this screen. Okay. So I do want to just touch down really quick on our accelerated growth model. So three major parts of the overall digital marketing platform that you want to follow is driving leads, maximize conversion, and optimize results. So when you drive leads, we're getting leads from a lot of different places, not just local service ads, also from sponsored ads, paid inside of paid search. You can also get those leads from Angie's List, Home Advisor, things like that. Okay, so things like Angie's List and Home Advisor to make sure that you're getting those leads. You could also get leads from your organic SEO into the organic search and results page on Google, in the local pack, in that map pack. But you can also get leads from emailing and marketing to your existing database of customers, whether you want them to use you again, or if you're going to just stay top of mind and get referrals or reviews. So a lot of different places you can get leads from nowadays, and maximizing conversion is another aspect of this, where you want to make sure that your website is dialed in with the most conversion tactics available on your website. Make sure your phone number is at the top of the screen. Make sure you've got chat, all different ways that a potential customer can reach out to you. A lot of things you can do on your website to help that conversion, helping with your reputation and your automation. Automation out there is important for speed to lead, getting that initial call, if it goes to voicemail or if it's going through in an off hours service. Want to make sure that we're reaching back out to them via text or email, anything like that, and maybe following up on estimates, following up on projects and jobs, making sure that the customer is always getting being communicated with. Nowadays, these customers are they want to use chat messages, they want to use text messages. This is their preference for communication. And then finally, optimizing results. So you want to make sure that you're dialed in on how much money you're spending on a regular basis, whether it's with a marketing agency or it's spending within ads, or you're putting money into Angie's List, or the amount of leads that you're getting in from different areas, and make sure that you know what your average cost per lead in all these different channels are. Having this information on a regular basis will help you convert more. So what's measured is always improved. So remember that too. So if you're actually measuring and you're constantly measuring, it will always improve, because you're going to, consciously make improvements to your actual process to do that. I'm just going to find my chat. I just want to make sure that I lost it. Okay, I found it. Okay. So if you have any questions in the middle of my presentation here, you can just reach out. You can send a message right here in the chat, and we can talk live. And I'm just going to talk about this accelerated growth map. So these are all the aspects I kind of just talked about a little bit. And today we're going to hone in on this paid aspect, which is the local service ads. This is only a piece of it. So overall, this is a full digital dominance method that we like to talk about on a regular basis and dial in our clients to make sure that we're touching down on all 8 of these pieces. Local service ads kind of fits in this number 2 and number 6, the pay-per-click and the pay-per-lead aspect. And this is a standalone service that Google offers for free, with the exception of the pay-per-lead. We're going to get right into it. So what we're going to cover with local service ads is what it is and how it works, where it's active. This is a fairly new thing that Google has rolled out. Their algorithms are changing constantly, though. Their reporting metrics are changing constantly. I'm seeing changes on a monthly basis. So it's important to maybe just stay on top of what's happening with this particular aspect of what Google's offering for the home services industry. I'm going to talk about how it works, how you can jump on board if you haven't already, and what it takes to rank in the top 3 results. And how can you take advantage of the high quality leads that are coming in? This is a low cost per lead service that Google offers, and this is probably the lowest you'll probably get, aside from the free organic results page. In terms of paid, this is the lowest cost per lead that you can possibly get in. It's probably running between $25 and $35 per lead, qualified lead. So I'm just going to talk quickly about who am I, why you should listen to me. I have 17 plus years experience in the internet marketing industry. I have a $1 million a year generalist agency that I've developed over that amount of time. I've worked directly with over 50 generator dealers across the country. I've spoken at mastermind cohort events for successful electrical contractors, and I have a specialized agency now, generator dealers, which is called Parasource. This is why you're here. And I work closely with a large agency cohort that each of these agencies have their own specialties, but we're always talking, communicating in the home services industries to make sure that our tactics are in line with everyone else's tactics, to make sure that, you know, we're all dialed in to the Google algorithms that exist today. Our mission is to help 100 generator dealers double or maybe even triple their revenue over the course of the next 5 or 6 years. We are a full in-house marketing team. This is my executive team, doing everything from custom web design development, all through pay-per-click campaigns, SEO, ROI tracking, operations, and automation, and assisting with pretty much everything, the whole gamut. Okay, so what is Google Local Services? If you haven't already gotten local services dialed in, this is what it looks like. So when you're doing a Google search and you're looking for generator installations or generator service, generator repair, you're always going to see these Google guaranteed results at the very top. Google is going to always put these at first. And, you know, Google's search engine results page has changed a lot over time. Before I get into that, I'm just going to show you. So even if you click into these ads, you'll see a pop-up with the actual company information, a tracked phone number on here. Google Guaranteed's checkbox is a very trustworthy and reliable source. And Google is going to actually, the whole point is that Google is going to actually pay for if you screw up, if something goes wrong and there's an issue, Google is going to pay for the service. So this is one of the reasons why you can see why this is a very important aspect of your overall marketing. So 87% of customers search Google when looking for home services providers. This includes generator installation, generator repair, and service. It is the #1 place your customers are looking when they need your services. They're going to Google it on their phone, on the desktop, and they're going to see these Google guaranteed results at the very top. I would say that if we're in an emergency situation, this is where they're going to click. They're going to click on the first ones that they see, and having that Google guarantee checkbox, whether they know what it is or not, it looks good. So they're going to call, and hopefully there's going to be an answer on the other line. And this is kind of what Google is striving for with the Google guaranteed local service ads. Local service ads come up first in the search results. I can beat that horse. There's a higher internet intent for this prospect. Like I said, so if it's an emergency, they're doing that Google search and they're clicking on those ads, their intent is much higher than a normal, you know, guy that might be a tire kicker looking for pricing, things like that. There still are some shoppers for the local service ads, but less so with the local service ads. So you must have a plan to win these Google local services. There could be 50 companies in your area that service generators or that install generators, but Google is going to and Google only shows 3 on a result. So there are a lot of factors to take consideration when you're actually setting this up. So in the profile, we want to make sure that everything gets dialed in the right way. We're going to get into that. So just to recap on the search engine result page, we have the very top, which is the local service ads, what we're talking about today. The Google ads, which is always second, right below that, anybody who's paying for those ads. Then you have the local pack, which is where your immediate location is with a radius, and you'll have your competitors there with you, and you can search the map and get all of the companies within that area. And then there's the organic search and results page. So this has changed a lot over time. This isn't the end. It's going to continue to change. So we're going to continue to report on it, whether it changes or not. So but it is important to know where it is today and what's happening with these results. So this is how local service ads work. You must complete the Google's local services application. That includes a background check on you personally as the owner. So you'll have to connect with a background service that Google connects you with. Pinkerton Consulting Insurance. This is the company that they use for background checks. You'll have to upload your license and do all of that information just to get that Google guaranteed checkmark. So you have to complete that. Once that's approved, and if active in your area, that's an old statement because we're pretty much active everywhere. Local service ads is running everywhere now, but we've seen between $25 and $45 per lead, but you can expect those ranges to shift over time. Sorry. Okay. How Google local services work. So in this initial setup, you want to set up this manual set a max bid manually. And you can actually also see that Google is actually going to make some recommendations in terms of, how much money will get you what. So it looks like it says $15. You may get 7 leads per week. And this is just a budget. And how are you charged for these local services? So you set a weekly budget that limits the total number of leads you receive in a given week. So for example, $2,000 per month would be $500 a week, $71 per day. The cost per lead is $35 on average, let's say. So those 57 leads per month, 14 leads per week, 2 per day. So once the weekly budget is spent, your ad goes offline. And if they're qualified leads, why wouldn't you want to keep spending, getting those leads in? You're not going to get 2 leads a day if that's the budget you're setting. Local service ads is a little bit different in that Google's not going to be able to spend your budget because it comes from the searches that people are doing to find you. So you might get 2 in a single day. You may get one day. You may get none another day. So it's definitely important to expand that budget as much as you can so that your ads stay there longer. So you may, like I said, you may get a different number of leads from day to day, never spend more than your designated weekly budget. Google will never. You have the ability to immediately dispute leads if you receive a lead that's not valid. So if they're spam calls, or if they're out of area, or if you don't do that service, or if you're not working with the brand, maybe it's a caller call and you only do Generac. So there's things that you do there. So leads that don't count, for example, solicitation, call was the wrong number, or it was spam, location not served, service not served. The feedback we're getting from active users for local service ads, though, local cost per lead is better than PPC. We're getting higher quality leads in Angie's List or Home Advisor and even PowerPlay, and still get some price shoppers, but have to follow up quickly on these, and getting a solid ROI from most of the clients who have jumped on board to this. So I always say that this is a no-brainer for generator dealers, particularly because it will keep that ad at the very top. And there's only a certain number of electrical services that you can offer within local service ads. One of them specifically for generators is Restore Power. So that's the one you want to make sure that you're dialed into. And Google will make sure that it's showing your ad when people are searching for generators, even though it says Restore Power. People don't need to necessarily search that. Google knows the difference. It knows what a generator is and knows how to apply somebody's search to that particular key term. So why it's a no-brainer? We show up on the top of the results where your clients are looking. You only pay per lead. You're lower cost per lead than PPC, and you have a higher quality than Home Advisor and Angie's List. And you have the ability to modify the budget based on a schedule, increase or decrease as needed. So how do we get it set up? Okay, if you're working with us, you can let us support you. We have clients, we cover the whole acceleration growth model, and LSA is part of the paid search aspect of what we do. So we can handle that for you. You can also sign up for this all on your own. This is very simple to do. You could just even do a Google search, sign up for local service ads, and just follow the prompts. Okay, so how does the ranking work? It's important to know this. So anybody who is currently running local service ads and want to make sure that you're dialed into these properly, understand that your proximity to potential customers is one of them. So like I said, back when I had mentioned you could have 50 companies in this area, this is one of the ways that Google is going to really narrow down these results and get them as pinpoint accurate as possible to the person searching. So this is one of the aspects. It's the proximity to these potential customers. If they're in and around your area and your competition with these other customers that are running LSA, you're going to come up as the search result based on that. The other variable that comes up for this is reviews. So your review score and the number of reviews you receive are going to weigh heavily on you appearing. And at first, Google is going to take the Google reviews you have on your business from your Google profile. You could have 400 or 500 5-star reviews. This is going to help you tremendously. But over time, Google is going to focus more heavily on the reviews that come in from working the LSA, the local service ads process. Your responsiveness to customer inquiries. So like I said, with that process, people are going to call in via local service ads. Google's going to have this data in the back end. It's going to be tracking everything. It's going to look at how fast you respond to the lead, how fast you dispute the lead, how great the review is, if there are any complaints, your proximity, and how well put together your profile is. But it's going to primarily be how you handle and respond to these leads directly. Your business hours too. So if your business hours are only from 9 to 4 or 8 to 4 or 7 to 4, your ad will only run during that time. So you might want to think about expanding your hours a little bit so that you can show up during some of these additional hours. But it's a bit of a balance though, because you don't want the local service ad leads calling in when it's your out of area time, your out of office service company answering the phones, taking messages, getting that back to you, and then only having a repeat call the next day. This isn't ideal for the local service process. You want to make sure it's during a time where can you answer the call? Can you be responsive to that call? Can you manage this lead properly? Google is going to make sure that it's putting they're covering the cost if something goes wrong. So they want to make sure that you're going to handle these leads on a regular basis and with care. So these are the items that you want to make sure that you're dialing in on. And whether or not we've received serious or repeated complaints about your business, this is going to weigh heavily on your exposure with the local service ads as well. So how do we win with local services? So we want to dial in your service area, your profile, and your budget, mark your jobs as booked, deal with disputes, drive verified reviews through the local service area. And I'm going to kind of take you through each aspect of this. Doing really good on time. This is a pretty short webinar. So we dial in on the profile. There's a lot you could do with this profile, but keep top of mind that you want to set this budget and open it up if you have that capacity. If you're not doing great with Google Ads, you might want to take some of that budget there and put it here too, and see how the local service ads does versus your Google Ads. You will have a better lead per conversion. Cost per lead rather, with local service ads than you will with sponsored ads. Generator installations are typically running between $150 and $200 per lead coming from the Google Ads. Local service ads, however, can potentially get you a $30, $40 per lead. So it's important to open up that budget enough so that your ads continue to run. If you are maxing out your budget early in the week, double the budget and just kind of play with this a little bit. I mean, if you're able to max out your budget, that means the leads are qualified. That means you're getting leads and you're booking business. So it's better to put the money where it's working than money where it may not be working. So I would say don't just blow it out, put $5,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 on this budget, kind of double it a little bit at a time. Google might see that as, slowly kind of getting into it. So this might actually be a good thing in Google's algorithms. Update your ad schedule so you can run these ads during certain times of the day as well. set up all your business bio. You can go through this profile and set up everything. I would say go through everything one by one. Select your job types. This is what I'm talking about with job types. In the electrician industry, we've got install electric car charger, install fan, install ground wire. And like I said, that last one is restore power. Don't do install fan. If you're only a generator company though, restore power and panel upgrades, those are two probably of the more common ones. And they also drive pretty good business. I mean, even if you're getting a panel upgrade, it's probably a decent amount of revenue. So those are probably two that you might want to check off if you don't do any kind of General Electric. But we have clients that do General Electric and they do generators. So pick the ones that are going to make you the most money or get you the most bang for your buck, so to speak. Set up those service areas. Google has two options here. You can put in the zip codes or you can select the areas via the Google profile. Pick one or the other. Don't do both. Set up those zip codes or do the selections on the areas that you want these ads to appear. Google will do its best to bring that up. And update your business hours. Like I said, be in a position where you can answer the call, facilitate a lead. So for speed to lead, want to make sure that a human is answering that call and talking with somebody directly, and you're either closing it or you're vetting it, or not closing it right then and there. We don't want them to go into a holding pattern or a voicemail or anything like that. It's important to respond as fast as possible. And use photos. Use a personality photo. This is huge. Very, very important for everybody. Generator dealers especially, because this is a more expensive item. People want to work with people. They want to see you, whether they're looking for it or not. They want to see your team. They want to see you have trucks. They want to see you're a legitimate company with people. So this is really important. If you don't have to hire a professional photographer, you can go out with your iPhone, take pictures. But this is what we want to do. We want to have a picture of your team, your people, your owner, your crews, your fleet, your trucks, everything for this profile, not just your website, but we also just want to get on the website. So you're going to take pictures, put it everywhere. Okay. The second aspect of this is to marking your jobs as booked. When these leads come in, you'll know based on the phone number and based on who's calling, we're going to get them in that lead and we're going to make sure that we mark them as booked. This is important for Google. A lot of owners don't even know that they have this portal. They just have local service ads. Their phone rings, they get a lead. Google's going to charge you based on what it thinks is going to happen. So Google has AI that listens to the call, verifies whether it's a lead or not, and will charge you for a lead. If you don't mark them as booked, it's not going to help the algorithm learn. So you want the algorithms and everything in Google to learn what leads coming in are going to actually convert, what leads are being disputed, and appropriately charge you. And like I said, Google rates your responsiveness by how well you complete your jobs. So mark them as booked or mark them as scheduled, add the customer details, include an email address, and then archive any kind of non-converted opportunities right from that portal. Unfortunately, you have to do it from the Google profile portal. And deal with disputes. Get a lead in and dispute it. Google's going to charge you no matter what, but if you dispute it, most likely 98% of the time, Google's just going to return the money back, but be real about it. So if the lead comes in and they didn't book with you, you can't dispute it. But if the lead comes in and they're legitimately looking for a generator or generator service or repair or electrical service and repair, that's considered a lead. If they're out of area, if they're doing services, you can do services that you don't do, you can dispute it and you'll get your money back. Google handles this on a monthly basis. You're not charged for disqualified leads, outside area, not services you don't provide. Now, driving verified reviews. So this is something I was saying before. When you drive, when you have these, the number of reviews is a major driver in ranking, not just your Google profile, but within the local services. So provide great reviews, great service as always, and leverage the dashboard to drive reviews from there. So enter the name and email and the quick request review button. This is here in right here in the account. Ask for reviews. This pops up, you type in the customer email address, the customer name, and this information, and Google will ask for the review on your behalf. This is a pretty strong setup for Google to not take this into account when they're providing you as a result. So over time, local service ads are going to have different ranks. This is my assumption. Google hasn't put anything in writing on any of this. Google doesn't talk about how their algorithms run or operate. But if you think about why is Google offering you the ability to request a review directly from the system, it's because they want to make sure that you are the best LSA on there, right? So eventually we're going to have ranks, and we're going to have a gold star or a silver star or something in addition to that Google guaranteed, to make sure that people know that not only are you Google guaranteed, but you are one of the better ones. So it's better to follow all of these rules that Google sets forth and just do the job the way it's supposed to be done. The last thing is reporting. So like I said, what's measured is improved. So always looking at this number, always looking at what your average cost per lead is on a regular basis. This client spending $1,500 for 1 month has resulted in 58 qualified leads, spending $27 for a qualified lead. This is a great price when it's really just a generator business or generator electrical business. So how to increase that lead flow from local services? You open up that budget, you expand your services, your job types, your ad schedule, your business hours, close out every single lead, booked, scheduled, archived, and request verified reviews on every job. That's the overall basis of all of that. I do want to just quickly say that I'm done talking about local service ads. So I hope this was valuable to what you guys are doing. If anybody's currently on local service ads using it, or if it's not, but I hope this was valuable. This is very important. I am going to touch base again in local service ads in a few months, just to make sure that nothing has really changed and we're always looking at it, always working through it. I do want to add some additional resources that would be very beneficial for you guys. Got some bonus content here. So going back to the accelerated growth model, right? So the Google Guaranteed fits into this one aspect, into paid search. So don't forget, there's a lot of other things that we have to do to make sure that everything is dialed in and you guys are getting the best rank for the generator service, the generator installation, searches, organic SEO, paid search and database. Here I have a downloadable for you, the SEO checklist. This will help you understand some of the more important things that you want to do with your website to make sure that you're converting your leads. You want to make sure that you have a good percentage of whoever's visiting your leads to conversion, visiting your website to conversion. You have 1,000 people visiting your website, but nobody's calling you. There could be something wrong with your website. So on this checklist, there's some things that you can do to help dial in on the website, some things you can do to help work with your Google profile, writing some ongoing content, great content and information here for you. I also have it downloadable for Google Maps resources, and this is all free. You can just download this, not asking for anybody's information here. So feel free to download it, use it for, to help your business and help get you to that point where you guys really want to be. Make sure that you're coming out ahead of your competition. I mean, this is really what it's all about. And if you're interested in us giving you a hand, we can help find you some additional opportunities. You can come to our website and schedule a free strategy session. There's no obligation, there's no cost. We'll actually put you into our software. We run some data on your competitors, make sure that you understand where you stand against your competitors in and around your market, and help you understand some of the changes and additional modifications that you can do on your own to get yourself into that better position. And of course, if you guys are interested in talking to us and learning a little bit about what we're doing for our generator dealers, we're always available. And we do that strategy session. We show you the opportunities. We make sure that we're a good fit before we show you our program and talk to you more about what we can do to help and work with you. Like I said, we're an agency that's focused just on generator dealers and service companies. We don't do anything else. We're not in any other industry. and we hope to work with you guys at some point in the future. So the more value we can give you, the better position you guys would be at. So that's it. I hope this was valuable. Thanks for coming. I can answer anybody's questions if you have anything. And happy Friday, happy summer. Heat waves and hurricanes. Let's hope that all comes true. And I'll see you guys next month. All right. Thanks very much for coming, everybody.